Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game, and today, Derek's Kazon pack. Now, pretty sure at some point we'll get a Kazon pack from WizKids. It's been alluded to that we're at least returning to the Delta Quadrant. Don't know when. It'll happen at some point. But until then, Derek's take on the Kazon, starting with the Pomar Menace, Predator class. Same as like the Relara Senkur, and I do love that named ability. This is a 4153 crew, double weapon, double tech. You may fire this ship's primary weapon, targeting ships in your rear arc at one less attack die. So at 3 dice. And I guess 4 at range 1, which is nice. You get battle station, evade, target lock, no scan, but I like the action bar. I like the stats. I love the ability. I think it's great. I would probably run this ship, and it's 27 points. It's, 5, 10, 13, 26. Wait a second. This is more expensive than stats times 2. That needs to be discounted, Derek. Sorry, that's my only beef. That's stats times 2 plus 1. Yeah. Generic is at 19. Yeah. That had to have been a typo. I mean, don't get me wrong. Being able to fire your primary at range, in the rear arc is great, but something had to give. All right, generic, down to 19. That feels right. Maneuver dial, it's maneuver dial. But yeah, it's a 180 forward arc. So I love 180 arcs. 4 dice at 180 is fantastic, and a rear 90. It's great. All right, a Relora Raider. So this is, we had like the Nistrum Raider. So Relora Raider, same thing, and yeah, I agree with Matt. The art here is amazing. 2233. When an opposing ship in range 1 to 2 is destroyed, steal 1 crew upgrade and deploy it to this ship, ignoring slots. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. That's a good named ability. For 6, 8, 10, 21 point. Again, feels a little pricey because it's stats times 2 plus 1. But yeah. The Mostral Raider, okay, so this is just stats times 2. Fine. I'd still like to see a discount off of it, but we can brainstorm on that. You do not pay a faction penalty when deploying tech or weapon upgrades to this ship. You can only deploy Kazon crew upgrades or captains to this ship. Okay, fine, cool. So they steal weapons and tech. That works for me. Combat phase roll +1 attack die this round for each different faction among your upgrades. That's fun. So you can get Kazon and then a different faction for a weapon and then a different faction for a tech. You get +3 attack dice. That's 5 attack. Ooh, okay. See, that would be worth paying 20 points for. But and like the Relora Raider, while cool, I just can't justify 21 points for it. I think knock it down to like 19 or something. Yeah, especially when the generic's 13. And yeah, the name's just got to be cheaper. Dial's what it is. Yeah, 180 arcs. Those are great. All right, Voyager. Yes, Kazon Voyager needed to happen. You may deploy Federation tech and weapon upgrades to the ship without paying a faction penalty. Cool. Combat phase, destroy a shield and increase your attack dice by 1 this round. Okay, cool. I like that. And I love the slots. Yeah. Well pointed. Kazon Voyager. It makes sense. They kidnapped it. Or I guess hijacked it. They took it over. But it makes sense. I love the thematicism here. And it does make sense. You still had the Fed tech and weaponry on it. Named ability. It's a good one. Yeah, generic still Fed. Dial's dial. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Works for me. All right. Cullah, and I like using the picture of him on Voyager. When attacking, if the defending ship's printed cost is higher than your ship's printed cost, add a crit to your roll. It gives you a good reason to run him on like a raider. That's nice. That's a nice named ability. I like it. No, that's solid. Menace. Ooh, higher captain skill than Cullen. That raises questions. Or at least in fighting within Kazon. Not saying you're wrong. Just I mean, we all think of Cullen as like the best Kazon, but he obviously wasn't. He had the most daring and cunning plan, and he captured Voyager with help of Seska. But Menace, when defending, if the attacking ship's captain cost is higher than this captain's cost, replace up to 2 of your defense dice with counterattack dice. Fun. I like anytime you can get counterattack dice into play. This is nice. It doesn't break anything. But yeah, solid. Shurat, ignore special SP cost penalties on non-Kazon upgrades deployed to your ship. Okay. That's a big one. When defending, modify attack dice step. Discard a non-Kazon upgrade to convert a number of the attacking ship's attack dice to... Oh, I forget the white symbol. Equal to the... Is that the elite symbol? It might be. Equal to the SP cost of the discarded upgrade. Okay, I'm going to assume that's the elite attack dice, which has the double hit on it, and that. Yeah. It's also it's a nice ability because it ignores that. Seems like a good card. Valak, your ship's base cost is -2. Solid. Non-Kazon cards deployed to your ship may be deployed face down. They are flipped face up when used and remain face up for the rest of the game. Okay. Seems like a natural captain on the Raider a few back. The Raider that has the benefits for non-Kazon cards. So, yeah. No, I like it. It's a good one. Discounts. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Loran... opposing ships with a higher SP total cannot target your ship with attacks outside their forward firing arc. Solid. I like that. That's a nice ability, and it fits Kazon thematicism. Let's not kick the Kazon where they're down. And then we've got a pirate captain in like lower decks or prodigy art style. I like it. Treat all tech, weapons, and crew slots on your ship as though they were all 3 types. So very interchangeable slots, and that's cool. Very thematic to pirate life. You do not pay a faction penalty when deploying cards with an SP cost of 4 or greater. Fun. I like that. And then a Kazon Maj. Okay, so a generic 2-skill captain. That's kind of nice. But it has to go on a Kazon ship. All right, claimed by the Kazon. So this must go on a Kazon captain. It's an elite talent. This talent may only be deployed to a Kazon captain on a non-Kazon ship. Okay. Nice ideas here. You do not pay faction penalty when deploying Kazon cards to your ship, and may treat your captain as also having the faction of your ship. Okay. If your ship's printed cost is equal or less than 5 times your captain's cost, it gains the Kazon faction and may deploy up to 2 Kazon upgrades without requiring upgrade slots. Okay, wow. That's some math, and I'm the math teacher here. But that seems like a really cool card, very thematic card. So I'm thinking... Okay, so example, we've got like Kala, which costs, I think it costs 4. So it would be, if the ship's printed cost is 20 or less, then it would also be Kazon and could get Kazon cards. So I think our most expensive Kazon is 5 points, so we would go 25. That's not bad. Yeah. Seems reasonable. Yeah. So Kazon could like capture the Sao Paulo, bring a couple of Kazon on, but they couldn't do anything ridiculous and like capture the scimitar. That's out of their limits. All right. Intersect cooperation. You may only include Kazon captains in your fleet. Okay. If there are at least 2 of the following terms included in card names across your fleet, increase your captain skill value and that of other friendly ships in range by +1 for each term included. Nistrum, Ogla, Relora, Pomar, Mostral, Oglamar, or Hobai. And you can exceed rule of 3 with that. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's a nice way to bump up your captain skill. A lot. I mean, you're still going to be limited by range. I think I'm good with range 1 to 2. I might bump the cost up just a tiny bit. I mean, I'm torn when I say that because you do have to run other cards that fit this. And I mean, yes, okay, the Relora Sankur is a very good card, and that will bump up your skill, but how many other cards are really going to do that? Not tons. This pack would help. All right, Unbroken Defiance. Again, Kazon Captain only. When attacking or defending, if your ship's point cost is lower than the opposing ship's point cost, replace your attack dice with double its printed value and your evade with 0. And I guess that's an optional ability, but yeah. Huh. I mean, it's a trade-off. I'm not sure I would personally run it, but that's just my style. I don't like those kind of trade-offs, but they do exist. All right, Seska. I like having the Kazon Cardassian duel here. So set up to play this upgrade. This side up to the opposing ship with the highest captain point cost if tied choose. When this ship would receive an Ox Power token, place the Ox Power token on this card instead. If there are 5 or more Ox Power tokens on this card, flip it. Well, that takes a lot of Ox Power. That you could go the entire game with never flipping it. When this card is flipped, disable your captain. Your captain can be re-enabled in your ship access skill 0 as long as... Oh, your captain cannot be re-enabled. Yeah, Derek, I would probably change this and go like 2, 3 Ox Power. Just because it can take a very long time to flip. And 5 Ox Power token will take a very long time. Yeah, I would just, I would bring it back down. I'd say the only way you're ever going to see payoff is if this is a lower value. All right, Tursa set up. Place an ambassador with printed cost of 3 or less, ignoring faction penalty. Well, ambassadors don't take faction penalties. Face down beneath this card. Discard this card, flip this card beneath it, face up and deploy it to your ship, ignoring slots and restrictions. Treat that ambassador as Kazon. Okay. So I guess you're just deploying an ambassador and letting somebody have to make that choice later in the game? I mean, that can be good. I'm not sure that I'd pay 3 points for that. But I guess I'm smuggling an ambassador. So it's the same. So really I'm just using a crew slot to have a late game ambassador. Or a mid game ambassador. I guess that can work. Alright, a Nistrum Hijacker. Your ship's SP cost is -1 for each non-Kazon tech or weapon upgrade deployed to it. Okay. Yeah. that could be. I can see how that works and works very nicely. The Aglamar Bodyguard. When one of your Kazon cards with an SP cost of 3 or greater would be discarded, disable this card instead. And for 1 point, yeah, why not? It's a nice replacement. Even if this said discarded instead, it would still be a good trade-off. So I'd buy that. And a Relora Brigand. When attacking, declare target. Step if the defending ship has no active shields, discard this card. And 1 crew upgrade with a SP cost of 3 or less on the defending ship. Yeah, that works. It's a nice card for 1 point. So, but I'm good with it. All right, a Relora Slaver. Set up, place up to 6 mission tokens on this card. This card's SP cost is equal to half the number of mission tokens on it, rounded up. So you'd only ever put a even number, because if you're going to put 5, you might as well put 6. When attacking, declare target. Step. Target 1 crew upgrade on the defending ship and remove a number of mission tokens equal to that card's SP cost -1 from this card. Steal that crew upgrade and deploy it to your ship, ignoring slots. That may be the best ganking card in the game. I mean, you got to pay for it, but it's not only discarding, it's stealing, and you potentially have 2 uses of it. Because if you have 6 mission tokens, you can steal a 4 cost. You can steal 2 4 cost cards, because you can get a 3 and a 3, or a 5 and a 3. That's really good. Yeah. I would say, I don't know what the trade-off here is. Like, it's really good. And maybe if the cost, I don't want to get the cost even more complicated, because if you do, I think it just becomes a convoluted nightmare. If anything, I would just say you got to remove a number of mission tokens equal to that card's cost. Don't give somebody a discount. Then it's like, okay, you want a 5-point card, you got to remove 5 mission tokens. That's the trade-off. And it's a fair trade-off. Hobai Pirates. Almost thought that said parts. Eyesight's going. Gotta wear my glasses here. When an upgrade on an opposing ship would affect a card deployed to your ship, place a number of time tokens on this card equal to the upgrade's printed cost -1 and disable the opposing upgrade without resolving its effect. All right. In the spirit of Mazzotti, which I like the card. I wish she was better, or at least saw more use. I like this, but I'm going to say it needs to go to 2 points. It's good. It's a good upgrade. But if you're going to mess with somebody back, you got to go to 2 points. That's just the trade-off. And the Hobai Tractor Beam. When a ship in range reveals its maneuver, and that range is 1 to 2, disable this card and reduce the speed of the revealed maneuver by 2. If this would reduce the speed to 0 or less, the ship instead performs a green maneuver. And that might be a green all stop. Yeah, I think it might be a green 0 stop. But it could just be a green maneuver. Okay, so here's my here's my let's avoid making this convoluted. How about disable this card and reduce the speed of the revealed maneuver by 1 or 2? this cannot be used to reduce a maneuver to speed 0 or less. So if a ship reveals a 1, you can't even use the tractor beam. Because I think that's reasonable. You're gonna let ships move. But if they reveal a 2, you can choose to slow them down to 1 or choose not to use it. And if they reveal a 3, you can make the choice. Do I want to slow them down to a 2 or a 1? Give me a little bit of agency. Let me make a choice. Do I want to slow you down by 1 or slow you down by 2? You let me do that? I think I'm solid with that. All right, the Oglamar masking circuitry. This is going to be a 2-point tech action. Disable this card. Place 1 Ox power token beside your ship. Perform a free cloak action. Fun. While your ship is cloaked, you may perform the sensor echo action even if this card is disabled. And this upgrade costs +4 for non-Kazon ships. Okay. I'm good with that. 2 points does seem a bit cheap, but this is a very pricey card. It's an action. It's a disable. It's going to take an Ox power token. It does give you sensor echo, which is nice, but again, pricey. All right, Pomar hull plating. When defending, deal damage step, cancel 1 hit, and only a normal hit, to your hull. I like that. I like that a lot. And it only kicks in once your shields are gone. So that's a reasonable trade-off. Yeah. Replicator. So 2 point, and this is Fed Tech. You may treat this card as an exact duplicate of any non-crew upgrade deployed to this ship or a friendly ship in range 1 to 2 until the end phase. If you do so, discard this card during the end phase. Nice. Nice. I like that, and I like how you got around the potential infinite abuse of something. You get one shot at it. Yeah. I think the only other thing you could do is, instead of just a discard, say remove from game. But that's if you really want to avoid like bringing it back or saving it with time tokens with other cards, because combos do exist. If you just say remove from game, then it's gone, and you really don't worry about it. Otherwise, I'd say I think you're fine. I think it's good to go. All right, Stellar Cartography. When you reveal your maneuver dial, disable this card to change the bearing of your maneuver, not the speed, but which way you're turning, or if you're going straight. So if you're locked in, if you choose 2 straight, you're locked into the 2, but you can now do a 2 bank, 2 turn. I like that. That's a nice and pretty cheap at 1. I'm good with that. And it's a disable, which I think is a fair trade. But yeah, I like that. The Ogla Ambush. We're back to Kazon. Here's a weapon. When attacking, if your ship is not in the defending ship's forward arc, disable one of your crew upgrades and force the defending ship to roll -2 defense dice. I like that. Very thematic, very cool. Reasonable. You're disabling a crew. Trade-off. Yeah, I buy that. All power to weapons. When attacking, roll attack dice step. Disable this card. Disable all remaining shields. Roll +2 attack dice this round. Whenever all of your shields are destroyed, not disabled, just destroyed, discard this card. So, yeah. Again, that's a good trade-off. All right. Illicit particle weapon. Attack battle station, so you have to have a battle station beside your ship. Place 2 time tokens on this card and target an opposing ship in range 1 to 2, forward arc only. Roll attack dice step. If the defending ship is at range 1, the attack value of this weapon is 5, so you still kind of get a range bonus. But it's a replace, it's not a modify, so got to trade off there. And the SP cost of this card is equal to your ship's primary weapon value. So this is much more valuable on the Raiders than the Predators, which is, again, reasonable. It's the art. It goes on the Raiders. But I like it. I like that card. Seems reasonable to me to have a battle station. Plus, you don't spend it. You want it for modifications. It's good. There's no built-in modifications. I'm okay with that. Okay, the Mostral. It's been a while since I've watched Voyager. I gotta go back, watch it. I'm in the middle of Deep Space. Well, I'm early Deep Space Nine. I'm doing my season 7 next gen, season 2 DS9. It's the overlap. The Mostral particle beam weapon, forward and rear arc, 3 attack dice or less. Replace your primary weapon value with its printed value +1. You may target ships with your primary weapon from your forward or rear arcs. That's very nice. It gives you 90 more degrees of coverage on those raiders. It's a good trade-off. It's 2 points. It's a bit pricey. Not saying I'd change it. Just it is something you got to consider. But rear arc coverage is very nice. Okay, photonic charges. Attack, place 3 time tokens on this card. Target an opposing ship at range 1 to 2. 360 fire. Note that, 360 fire. 4 dice. Deal damage step if there is at least one uncancelled hit or crit. Place an Ox power token beside the defending ship. So this is the weapon you really need to bring if you're going to bring Seska. But again, I think you run Seska and you modify Seska back to like 3 Ox power tokens, and she's still going to get her effect to go off. So, yeah. Photon torpedoes, attack, target lock. Spend your target lock and place 2 time tokens on this card. Target an opposing ship. Modify attack dice step. Convert all blanks to battle stations. Okay, so that symbol's blank. I got to go back and take a look at that card. So that's 2 points for 5 dice range. Yeah, I think this is just a copy of photons that we've seen. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, that was the last card. So I'm gonna go back, I guess forward, and find that. I think it was the talent that had this. It was the captain. Discard a non-Kazon upgrade to convert a number of the attacking ship's attack dice to blanks. So when defending, okay. Equal to the point cost of the discarded upgrade. This makes more sense. Sorry. So Surratt, when defending, modify attack dice step. Discard a non to convert a number of the attacking ship's dice, regardless of what they rolled, to blanks. Okay. Now that I actually understand Surratt and the timing and that I'm not being an idiot about this, yes, I like Surratt a lot more. Defensive abilities that modify dice are tricky only because defense modifies first. So if you have an attacker who has abilities to modify blanks after, Surratt's not going to do anything. And he's a trade-off, right? But in the right situation where there's no target lock or there's no battle station, somebody's just relying on straight dice quality, Surratt's saving you. He's taking all those hits, crits, and saying, nope. He works. He brings out potential. So, Derek, overall, I like the pack. I think he brought a lot of good potential to Kazon. There seems like a lot of potential good fun here, and cards that would make the Kazon feel interesting to me, which is helpful. It's something that they don't currently have, is a lot of interest. So yeah, Derek, thank you for that. Everyone, thank you for watching, and until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.